I bet you didn't know that I spent 3 years in Malawi, which is in East Africa. Well, today I'm going to make for you one of the dishes that's called a staple dish in Malawi, which means they eat it for almost every meal. This is a very important meal for Malawian families. This is called Nsima, and it is a traditional dish. So I kind of already got it going, but I'll tell you what's in it. Okay? First, we use this, it's called ufa, and it's made from crushed hamali. It's powder, it's flour made from maize or hamali, if you know the Mexican version. And I used about 8 cups of water. So it's just water and corn flour pretty much. So what I do is I take half cups of corn flour and I stir continuously so that it doesn't burn at the bottom of the pot. This big spoon that I'm stirring with is called Ntiko. Say that, Ntiko. Ntiko is a big spoon that's used in Malawi. All homes, all mommies have this Ntiko in their house. Okay? So if you take a look, I put about 8 cups of corn flour and I stir so that it's nice and smooth. Okay? Now I'm going to set it to boil so that it can cook a little bit. So I went and got my chitenje. This is a traditional chitenje that women usually wear when they're cooking to keep their clothes clean from debris from the food. So this is a porridge. This is also called a porridge because we use corn flour and water, and it makes a boiling porridge. And any good porridge pops up. So I'm trying really hard not to get popped. So that's why I have my oven mitt to keep me from getting burned. Okay, so here's the next step. This has been boiling for about 15 to 20 minutes. Just so that it can cook nice. We want to keep it nice and smooth. So I'm going to start with stirring. Now there's a specific way that you're supposed to stir it. Okay? So I stir it in a circular motion, or somehow like a cake. Maybe like a back and forward motion like this. Okay? I have to keep stirring so that I don't make lumps. Okay. So I'm using a sifter. Most women in Malawi won't use this. They use their hands, but I want to make sure I don't make lumps, so I sift it as I go. They would probably laugh at me if I did this. So I'm just going to shake in a little bit at a time, probably like half cups. Alright, so I'm just going to keep shaking in the flour a little bit at a time until it gets very thick. So thick that you're going to be able to lift it off your plate. Okay? So I'm just going to put a lot. I like to put a lot so that I don't get popped by the porridge. Okay, so then I'm just going to keep stirring it like this till all the flour dissolves into the porridge mixture. Keep stirring and beating it so that it stays nice and smooth. We don't like lumps. No one wants to eat lumpy Nsima. So you have to keep stirring and adding flour. Again, usually women that make this would use their hands and they wouldn't have one oven. Like, this is how I'm doing it. Okay? And you have to keep beating it until it's nice and smooth. So I'm doing a back and forward motion like this to make it nice and smooth. I'm going to add just a little bit more flour just to give it a little bit more thickness. Okay, that's going to be it. This should do it. Just keep eating it like a cake. This is a very important dish. It's usually the main dish of any Malawian meal, usually lunch or dinner. Okay? So when it's done, it's going to be nice and smooth like that. It doesn't drip. It's smooth like batter. Yeah, that's good. And it sticks to the spoon. So I'm going to finish up here. That's Nsima. Now, the next step is I'm going to show you how I put it on the plate. And okay, so that's it. Now, I have to put it on my plate, and I usually put it first. Now, what helps me to scoop it out is I'm using a plate, but you usually use what's called a chiponde. And it is a big spoon, but mine is broken, so I'm using a plate, which some people do in Malawi if you don't have one. So I'm gonna soak it in water so that I'm able to slide the Nsima onto the plate nicely. You got me? So I'm going to slide it on the plate, and it makes nice patties like that. So I'm gonna just put 2 patties on the plate. As it cools, it gets very solid so that I can pick it up with my hands. Then I have some side dishes here that I made earlier. I have a nice cabbage salad, which is something that Malawian friends like to eat. And this is ground beef, or as they say in Malawi, mince. So I'm gonna just put it on the plate as if I was serving someone. Okay. That's a little indiwo. It's called indiwo or side dish. So I've added my indiwo or side dishes. I have some ground beef with tomato sauce, or they would say tomato soup, and onions. And then I have a nice colorful cabbage salad that I'm going to put as my side. In Malawi, there's always vegetables and meat in your dinner with the Nsima. Now, just so you can see how it's done, this is Nsima, and this is how it's eaten. You eat it with your hands. You usually don't use spoons or forks to eat it. It is eaten with the hands, and you eat the side dishes together with the Nsima to flavor it even more. Okay, so this is how it's eaten. You take just this is hot. You take just a little bit, okay, and you ball it in your hand like this, and then you use the side dishes to flavor the Nsima. Like that. See, a little salad. You eat it with your hands. And it's not sloppy. It's actually really good to do that. Yummy. So that's Nsima, and that's how you eat it. Maybe you can try it. I hope you do. And if ever you go to Malawi, which is also called the warm part of Africa, this is the first thing I want you to try. Nsima. See you later. Yaka, yaka.